What's going on, YouTube? Recently I was doing a raid on woods and I ended up finding myself in a bad situation where I got caught out in the open and was getting shot at by an enemy where I had no idea where they were. Somehow I ended up getting out of the situation by doing a tactical retreat, which I used to fall back, take some cover, heal up, and then eventually I ended up taking out both of the enemies who were shooting at me. At the time, I did not know there were two guys chasing me down until they got closer and I could hear both footsteps. But this video, I just want to give a PvP breakdown of how you can use a tactical retreat to your advantage whenever you're getting shot at by somebody and you don't know where they are. Now, tactical retreat is something that I do a lot, and honestly, it's something that a lot of players should learn to utilize rather than staying out in the open and trying to search around for the enemy. If you're getting shot at and you're not sure exactly where the enemy is, it's okay to run back and hide and get the cover. Especially whenever you're in my situation where you have a bolt action sniper rifle, it's much better to run back, get the cover, and let the enemy push you instead. I know you see a lot of Giga Chad streamers out there who, if you run away from a fight, they will call you either a pussy or a bitch or something like that for running away from a fight. But in most cases, it's better to run away from a fight where you're having a losing hand than try to ego challenge and lose that fight and lose all the gear that you have on you. But sometimes it's okay to run away, get a better and advantageous position for you, which allows you to get the kill. So let's run the clip and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Pip-pip-pip-cheerio. We are gonna run, Ruda. Run out of the heads tonight. I'm gonna die. Gonna die. Of course, just lost my fucking arm. Seriously? I have to. Fuck it. There's two. Like I had a flare too. That's how it's done. Patience is key. Now that you've seen the full clip, let's get back through so I can explain to you my thought process and what was going through my mind during the fight. Pip, 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 cheerio. As soon as I heard the suppressed shots go off near me, I immediately took cover because I was unsure of whether or not they were shooting at me or at somebody else. After the next couple shots that were fired, I realized that I was getting shot from along the beach, so I immediately took cover behind the hillside and the rocks right here. Because I didn't know exactly where the enemy was, but I heard footsteps running towards me aggressively, I immediately pulled out a grenade and threw it on top of the hill to slow down the enemy so they couldn't peek over the hilltop and get an easy angle on me to kill me. Now this grenade was actually crucial. Throwing this grenade not only slowed the enemy down so that I could retreat and get to more cover, but it also masked the sound of my footsteps because of the loud explosion that went on. In doing so, I like to believe that that masking of my footsteps is what truly allowed me to get away and get to an area where the enemy had no idea where I went. After I got back behind a little more cover, I was trying to bait some more shots to see if I could find out where the enemy was. They did not shoot at me. I decided to retreat back further, that way I could heal. We are gonna run, Ruda. Once again trying to bait shots to see if they knew exactly where I went, and that way I can figure out where they are. But still no shots were taken, so I retreated back to a different location again. Run out of the house tonight. I'm gonna die. Once in this position, I felt more comfortable peeking around this rock because I did not get shot at when I rotated to this position. So I figured the enemy did not see me rotate, which means they had no idea that I was up here. I knew the general direction of the enemy, and since they lost track of me, now I have the advantage. Gonna die. Of course, just lost my fucking arm. Seriously? After staying in my spot and laying low, I finally spotted one of the players. And as you can see, my tactical retreat worked in my favor, as that player that was shooting at me is still looking down along the side of the beach trying to find me, which means he didn't know that I ran back to this location. Unfortunately, I was unable to take a shot here because my arm did end up blacking out. With your arm being blacked out, it makes it a lot harder to aim up a headshot, which if you're using a VPO like I am, a headshot is really the only way you're going to kill any other players, especially if they're wearing any type of good gear. One mistake that I did make was retreating to this location is not the best strategy in my opinion. I'm basically in the middle of the lumber yard, which is a hotspot for a lot of players to look down, and I'm exposing my back to half the map, especially to a lot of areas where players tend to be at, either at Dickhead Rock or on the mound looking over the sawmill. I'm very exposed in this position, but due to the circumstances, I decided to just stay here rather than pushing back any further because that would give the enemy a chance to see me rotating again, which could result in my death either way. So I decided to stick to this location behind this rock and near this bush, even though I run the risk of other players shooting me in the back. I have to. Fuck it. Because I couldn't line up a headshot because my arm was blocked, I decided that it was a good time to heal my arm, especially because of how far away that guy was, and it didn't seem like he was in too much of a hurry to try to push. So fixing my arm was top priority. After fixing my arm and healing up a little bit, they started pushing down towards the beach more and started throwing grenades in the direction at where they shot me. Little did they know that I rotated back and I'm not in that area anymore. In this scenario, them throwing grenades was a good sign that my tactical retreat was a success. Because they're throwing grenades down to where I got shot at initially, that means that they had no idea that I pushed back to a different location and retreated, which means now I have the advantage. I know the general direction of where they are in comparison to them knowing where I am. There's two. At this point, I did realize that there were two players because I heard someone on my left aiming with a gun, as well as somebody on the right running around checking through bushes. Which at this point, I probably should have tried to retreat even further, but due to how close they were, they definitely would have heard me or saw me run away. So I decided to just stick to this location, try to make as little noise as possible, and hope that they won't check here. Because if they did, then I was going to die either way. Now that I heard their footsteps going the opposite direction of me, I knew that they weren't going to check this location, and my best opportunity to kill these players would be to either A, let them pass and follow them up and shoot them in the back, or B, take a shot if the opportunity presented itself. And fortunately enough for me, it did. Because I only took one bullet to kill the guy and my gun suppressed, I figured that the other player wouldn't be able to pinpoint my exact location and he would play more passively. At this point, I ended up hearing the player behind the log pile right in front of me, and then right before I moved my scope to the left, I did see his gun sticking out from the left side. So I knew exactly where this player was, and it was only a matter of time before he exposed himself to me where I could shoot him, or if that didn't happen, then I could have pushed back, rotated around, and got an angle where I was able to kill him. So at this point, it was just a matter of time before one of us made the move, and as you saw earlier, he made the move to expose himself, which led to another easy kill for me. Like, I had a flare too. He had a flare on the RFB. That's how it's done. Patience is key. Now I know there's a lot of different situations that can occur, and doing a tactical retreat isn't always the best option, but in this case, I just want to showcase how a tactical retreat can pay off in your favor as long as you do it properly. And the way to do that properly is to act fast and immediately rotate. That way the enemy has no idea that you even left the scene of where they first saw you. If you're able to do that, then that opens up a ton of options in your favor. If you weren't hurt and you had a better gun to use, unlike me in this situation, then you could have moved around and flanked them and took more aggressive shots at them rather than playing slow like I did. But like I said, every situation is different that you get put in might not be the same. I could have easily died if they ended up pushing into the bush of where I was, but I chose to stick to my guns, play the long game, and it paid off for me. But it easily could have backfired if they were more aggressive and they were more thorough on checking the surrounding locations. I hope this PvP breakdown gives some of you newer players some insight as to how you can play differently and how you can back off from a fight in order to give yourself a more advantageous position. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more PvP breakdowns like this, make sure to leave a like and comment down below what your favorite part was, and if you think this video has opened your eyes to a new type of strategy, a tactical retreat. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Tarkov content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.